Hello, everybody. Good morning and welcome back to the episode. And today we are honored to have in the house Ms.Shikha with us, a transformation leader who has over 25 years of experience of impact on the industries, the creator of powerful mentor framework, and the visionary behind your Own Your Color, right? So, can you please tell us about yourself, a few lines, so at least the audience knows you better?
Sure, thank you. Thanks, Dr. Aarti, for having me here. It's my honor. Um, I don't know where to start. Basically, a girl with lots of dreams, born in New Delhi, moved to New York, first in the family to have a passport, and be crazy that yes, dreams can come true. And here I am. Been in New York for 18 years, bringing in transformation in various industries as well as people and organizations. That's me.
Right, that's a very clear and crisp introduction about you. So let me just start with the first question that I had in mind. My first question is that let's talk about your career actually. So you have already spent about how many 25 years in the industry.
Yes.
So what about
Yes.
so how do you think these years have shaped so far your experiences in life? How could you actually think of being a transformation leader so far based upon the experiences? Yeah.
Um, I have had many pivotal moments in my career, learning about what makes the world go round. Whether it's so, I'm a computer engineer, also was uh, lucky enough to actually get into business, and I have like a double master's in business administration. So, having gone through various different titles and careers in software industry, what I've learned is ultimately it's all about people. So once you understand how to work with people, understand their motivations and their interests, that's when you can bring in change, whether it's around organizations or technology or in the world. Uh, a lot has happened in these 25 years, but one of the key moments that I remember about a change was pandemic, COVID, when I think there was a lot of misery, a lot of chaos, a lot of anxiety that everybody had about what will happen. I thought for the very first time, I actually paused and went inward on who I am. What am I really trying to do in terms of leaving a legacy, or what's the purpose of my life? And that's when I realized that I have to quieten the noise outside and just be inward to figure out who I am, what's my mission, what's my vision. And that's where Own Your Color was born.
Okay, that's very interesting to know because generally when we teach, we talk about mission vision in regards to the organization, and this is about you. So it's kind of very interesting to know. All right. So what was the motive behind this framework that you have made for yourself, the mentor, right? So if you
Yeah,
just walk us through that framework.
Yeah, great question. I think, as I told you, right, when I went inward, I started finding all the right answers. And the mentor framework was also born during pandemic. So stands for meditate, E stands for exercise, N stands for notate, T stands for being thankful, O stands for taking ownership, and R stands for reading. So there was a lot of time to actually do these things. I actually used to spend 60 minutes a day every morning doing these things 10 minutes. And as I did more and more of that, I realized that that's actually clearing out the noise that's outside. So we have all our answers within. We just don't take time to find those answers. So that's where mentor framework was born.
Okay, so just to answer my curiosity, and I wanted to ask you that okay, who is the right target audience majorly for this framework that you're talking about? Is it leaders or
It's
I
actually
mean like
It's actually everybody, starting from, I would say, students who are in high school or middle school to college campuses to somebody who's starting their career to leaders like CEOs and executives, and even small business owners, right? Like the beauty of this framework is that you can actually apply it to everybody. And the reason is because, see, at the end of the day, growth does not happen in big leaps. It happens in very small intentional actions. So after 20 years of my experience working in the industry, working across many countries and leading really large programs and multi-million dollar budgets, all the conversations, reflections that I had learned from people within my company as well as the customers that I dealt with, what I realized was it's all about habits, right? And if you take time, success does not happen with intensity, it happens with consistency. And in this world of like TikToks and shorts and Insta, our attention spans are very, very limited, and it's very hard for anybody to focus. So when you actually make a promise to yourself to give yourself some time every day and do these things, you are able to get clarity, confidence, and courage to do what really, really matters, not what outside world is telling you. So it's actually for everyone. And I can tell you for a fact, I've actually done this research and rolled it out globally to, different audience groups, from students to emerging leaders to actually executives. And the feedback is the same, that mentor framework turns everyday moments into leadership moments. We are learning so much about who we are and our own mission and vision, which is why I actually created the framework.
Quite interesting, actually. And then coming to your own color, right? So if you just explain me the context of what made you think of having this title, this name, first thing for my better understanding for
Sure.
this moment, and then secondly, what is the basic core message that you think the readers and ultimately the participant would actually walk through once they go through this book of yours, right?
Sure. So let me answer the why this name. So I actually had like five different names, and then I did see, ultimately for anything to succeed, it's all about who are you creating it for, and why, right? So my mission was that it actually helps people know who they really are in terms of their values, their limiting beliefs, so that they can let go of that, their strengths, and then they are able to actually dream big, like I did once upon a time, and then make those dreams true and help each other. Those were the three big reasons I actually wrote the book. And I did have five different other names, but I did like a beta test with, again, multiple readers when I shared like the first chapter of the book and asked them to say, like, tell me which one resonates the most and why. And Own Your Color seemed to be, like everybody's favorite. And the reason is because it actually embodies the basic fundamental reason of writing the book, which is that take ownership. We sometimes find excuses about our environment, about our constraints, our limitations. But the whole idea is just be yourself, and you really don't need to become someone else to lead boldly. So just be yourself, all of yourself, right? Like your quirks, your idiosyncrasies, your strengths, your weaknesses. Just embrace who you are fully. And once you do that, then then don't be apologetic about it. Like, be authentic and say, yes, I have this limiting belief, but I'm actually going to let go of that. I will use the mentor framework. And then, as you are able to be bold, dream big, find mentors who can help you rise, and then give back by helping others as well, right? Like, that's the core message of the book, that you know yourself, your strengths and your color, stand in it, and then use it to light someone else's path. We all can rise together.
Yes, beautifully explained. Because I actually, though it was actually very catchy. I mean, the moment I actually have gone through the title, it was quite impressive. So I was actually trying to analyze how, I mean, like what kind of reactions people would be giving ultimately. And I mean, you've already told that you already had the test through before you. I'm like the pilot test before you could actually get the name, which is quite interesting. So because when it comes to readers and I mean grasping their interest, it's very important to have something really catchy and attractive at the first shot, right? And then ultimately when
That's
people
true.
start reading, they're not supposed to skip the chapters or just read the summary. They're supposed to go through each and every chapter, I mean, and understand what is the basic idea behind a book. That's the basic way of reading a book, actually, not just skipping the pages. So yeah, this is
I'm so
really, yeah, very
Yeah,
attractive
I'm so
title.
glad you said that. Yeah, I'm so glad you said that. But I have to admit, so it was catchy and people really loved the cover. So I'm sure you looked at it,
Yes,
right?
yeah, 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 yeah.
But a lot of people actually also, what they thought color means, like your skin color, like your race or your hair color. Or somebody actually thought, oh, is this a book for like coloring? I'm like, no, it's not.
Yeah, no, no, no.
So
It was,
yes,
it was no, it yeah, it was way more deeper than what you actually meant by the title. So we got it at the first glimpse, but yeah, people might have confusions. Very, very true.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So talking about this 6 week power kit, that the program that you have been running so far. So what is the basic, agenda behind the same? How does it actually work? And 6 minute per day is pretty quick. So can you elaborate how it is practically possible to apply that?
Yeah, great question, Dr. Arti. So, as I said, right, success does not really come from intensity, it comes from consistency. So, and in this quick Maggie and Express generation that we're in, everybody wants results fast. Nobody has the patience. So, I used to spend 60 minutes, but can actually spending less time, can you get the same benefit is something I wanted to test for myself. And again, with a small sample audience before I say that this can happen, right? And interestingly enough, it actually can. Our brains are wired and we're multitasking all the time that just finding 6 minutes in peace at the same spot at the same time, if you actually do it, it's a micro practice that's rooted in behavioral science and research about your strengths. So if you go on my website, www.ownyourcolor.com, you will find a test, and that also has been created after a lot of research on helping people, especially women, girls, young kids, know what their strengths are. Once you know your strengths, then actually telling yourself that, any curveball that life may throw at me, it's okay, I will be able to get over it. Um, you, you do like one little activity exercise, even if it's deep breathing, right? Breathe in, breathe out, and then write your goal just for today, saying this is one thing I want to accomplish. And it could just be like, I'm actually going to drink 12 glasses of water because I want to release all toxins from my system. Or it could be that I will actually uh, help somebody in some way, whatever your goal for the day is, right? If you do these things, it's proven that you're creating new neural pathways in your brain, which tells you that, oh, you committed yourself one small thing, right? Like not a big goal, but one small thing, and you did it. And then with the Power Kit, with the book, so there is a journal that actually helps you then, like get the joy of checklisting and saying, oh, I actually did mentor today, and then you do it tomorrow, and then it just makes you feel, I got this, right? And then you get into a habit of high-fiving yourself and telling that it doesn't matter whatever happens to my day, if I actually can find these 6 minutes, I will be unstoppable, I will be invincible, and I will end up being a better version of myself, which means I'll create better impact in the world. So I did this exercise just 6 minutes instead of 60 with myself. And then I actually again did that in two different sample groups, one in India and one in North America, for 6 weeks, seeing what people felt before, what people felt after, and the results are the same, which is that we feel more confident, we feel more clear about our short term, mid term, and long term goals, and we feel like we can do this. So, to me, that's why I say, like, the mentor framework is amazing, and the 6 minutes plus mentor framework, it's not actually like instant and magic, but it creates that momentum because these small daily practices end up becoming your breakthroughs every day. And then every day you don't need someone else to say you got this, like you have someone, your own self, right, like patting yourself on the back.
All right, very interesting. So, I mean, like while you were talking, I was actually thinking of asking you the next question, which states that, okay, what actually made you, because you belong to a management background, right? You had two masters, two MBAs, right?
Yes.
Which field, if I may ask?
Yeah, sure. So I did a master's in computer applications, and then I did one in business administration, and then I actually amped it up with some more, what do you say, executive level courses from MIT, Columbia, around transformation, organizational, healthcare, digital. Yeah,
Right, because I actually wanted to know from where is it coming from, because you are more inclined towards healthcare also, talking about AI and
true.
innovation, and then you are again from the management background, which talks about the framework that you have already developed for yourself. So I wanted to actually have a clear idea of how it's clubbing together. and what is the curiosity behind clubbing these two areas together in your personal life, because of which you actually had this mentorship program, right? So, what about this the new initiative that you've already had, this AI led healthcare innovation, right? So, what do you think? What do you basically uh, have a vision regarding this AI tool that you ultimately are working on, and then how do you think this can actually be a very potential option for equity using AI in healthcare?
Yeah, this is a great question, by the way, Dr. Aarti, because it brings everything together. So I'll go back to the COVID story that I shared with you. So if I have to think about one thing that changed me completely, like that was my transformative moment, that was COVID. So for 20 years of my life, I was actually in financial services. But during pandemic, that's when I actually also changed to healthcare, and I committed myself to creating a better, more inclusive, equitable world, especially when it comes to leadership and making sure everybody rises together. That's when Own Your Color was also formed. So, in this amazing world of technology and AI, the most exciting thing about AI is that for the very first time, it feels like there is an opportunity for us to create systems, follow data, leverage governance in a very transparent way. So that, like, when I look back, when I was born in New Delhi, right? A lot really depends in healthcare, whether it's India or US, as to who you are, which zip code you belong to, and how much money you have in your in your bank or your insurance.
Yeah.
So with AI, we can actually change that, right? Like healthcare is for everybody, and everybody has the right to get access to the best physicians, to the best treatments, if we leverage those data models the right way, which is the most exciting thing about making a better world.
Okay, it's a very nice vision, I would say. I mean, I would actually personally wish you all the best, because where you're
Thank
taking
you.
this towards is kind of very interesting, very trendy also, and I guess it's going to benefit the society to a great extent, right? So
Yeah.
I wish you all the best for the same. All right, so talking about because you ultimately are working on uplifting the underrepresented voices, right? So, what is
Yeah.
that one practical step that you think, okay, this can actually champion talking about inclusion today, right?
Yeah. So I would say it starts from every individual. When you give yourself the permission to be your whole self, authentically, unapologetically, you're actually telling others that it's okay. You can be who you are. So I would say, first off, uh, be bold and be just uniquely you. Like, world doesn't need more copies. So if you do that, that's step number one. Step number two is, once you start doing that and you start leading as an example, that's when you actually figure out as to who needs help. So are you able to actually either talk about how I can help someone else and say, I can help you via mentorship or sponsorship. Choose one underrepresented either person or area or whatever you're passionate about, right? And open a door they've never had access to, and then stay invested in their success. Take time, because every little thing counts. uh, every little action counts, and when each one of us does that in our community and at our workplace, we actually set an example that these things matter, right? It can actually change the whole culture. So I would say the simplest thing is, first off, be yourself, and then think about helping others, because and again, science proves that, right? Like, I have been on this journey for 5 years, but science proves that only when you give back, that joy is unparalleled. So if you're at work and you know somebody's struggling, uh, just take a moment and be kind, and take that person aside and say, do you need help with this, right? It could be a young person who started their corporate life and actually don't know, like, how the organization works or any skill set, right? Or volunteer at a soup kitchen over a weekend. Like, every little act of kindness helps you be the champion of change.
Yeah, I really like the idea of giving back to the society, because that's very, very important. We as a like we talk if I talk about companies and MNCs and other enterprises, they're supposed to do it officially. I mean, if not voluntary, but they're
Yes.
still doing it now because it's a part of the government initiative. But as an individual, again, if there's a thought behind, I mean, this kind of, I mean, there's a thought process behind this kind of thinking that you have, it's a good mindset, and I guess it's going to take you a long way in the journey, which is already taking you a long way already. So yeah, again, we wish you a lot of success and a lot of you know um, what you actually desire to ultimately achieve in your goal. So I wish you could actually attain your mission, vision, and goals in your life that you have been talking about, and through your book, of course. So thank you so much for being with us today. It's an amazing conversation. I really enjoyed knowing about your book in detail, because it really makes sense, and it really makes um, a great contribution towards society, where we're talking about trying to understand our own selves rather than comparing ourselves to others. It's very, very important. It's very important for people to understand this, because every now and then, up till now, even I know a few people. I mean, I won't be naming them, of course, but there are people who still compare each other, and that's where they landed into anxiety, depression, and again, because you can't be, I mean, you should not be thinking of being somebody else, trying to fit in somebody else's boots. So it's better to be, your own self. So that's where I guess the book would take us to. So thank you once again. I really enjoyed the conversation personally. And thank you for sharing your clear wisdom and your initiatives with us. So at least, I mean, the audience would actually know more about your book and what you've been doing so far. So what about the e-copy? Do we have a possibility of having an e-copy? So at least, I mean, like, if anybody wants to read the book, so how do we actually go through? Like, are we supposed to order, or what?
Yeah, yeah, no, thanks for asking, Dr. Aarti. So the book is available on Amazon, but I highly request and recommend, because you asked what's one act of kindness. So most of the proceeds from the book sales and the power kits actually help a nonprofit, which is about youth mentoring, underprivileged youth. So you could get e-copies, you could get power kits. Everything is available on the website, www.ownyourcolor.com. There are a lot of requests coming from schools and colleges and organizations. So there is also bulk pricing available on the website. If anybody needs any help, even individually or for their group, like, please feel free to reach out. I'm here to provide whatever information, help, insights I have learned. So I'm here for you. Definitely check the website. And I do want to take a moment and thank you, Dr. Aarti. I think you're doing an amazing job by actually bringing these stories, right? Like, I genuinely feel we all have a story. We just need a forum and a platform for us to share that and give that nice encouragement to everyone else, that if I could do it, so could you. So thank you for doing that for me and for many other voices. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much. I mean, I really appreciate the warm and kind words from your side, and of course, that's my 1% of contribution towards the society. So, whatever best I could do for anybody around me. So yeah, of course. All right. So it was nice to meet you, and I wish you all the best for your book. And then, of course, because I was personally thinking that this actually could be a very good option for students, because at that, apart from
Yeah,
the basic curriculum, they could actually go through these kind of books to ultimately enhance their understanding, and furnish their personality at that level, initial level, when you're supposed to blend, I mean, like,
totally.
mold your personality, right before you turn
Yeah,
30s and 40s, and it's not very easy to mold yourself. So at the very
it's
younger age. All right, so thank you so much.
totally.
Keep growing, keep leading, and be bold, of course. Thank you so much. Nice to
Yes,
meet you.
thank you. Thank you. Thanks. Bye.
All right, so this was with us today in the house, Ms. Shikha. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, your clarity, and your passion for elevating others. Your message of empowerment, inclusion, and intentional leadership resonates deeply, and we appreciate the work you've been doing so far. We hope you attain all the success in your life. And to the listeners, keep leading, be bold enough, do not compare yourself to others, keep owning your own color. So, till then, this is your host signing off. I'll see you next time, same, same place, but with a fresh guest on the channel. Until then, take care, have a good day.